Welcome to Travel Destinations. Today we embark on a profound expedition into the challenging realms of homelessness and substance abuse that afflict the neighborhood of Kensington. In every face we encounter, there exists a hidden narrative of suffering and resilience that touches our hearts in ways words can scarcely capture. The unvarnished realities witnessed on Kensington streets compel us to confront the harsh truths about our society, while simultaneously reminding us that even the bleakest moments can harbor a spark of hope and the promise of renewal. Every shattered dream and every broken life leaves an indelible impression on our journey as we wander these streets and listen intently to the voices of those who have long been silenced. Before we plunge further into this exploration, we kindly invite you to like this video, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to our channel if you find the content both meaningful and inspiring. Your engagement not only motivates us to continue sharing these vital stories, but also helps amplify the voices of individuals who are rarely heard. Overview about Kensington. Kensington is a neighborhood that weaves together a rich tapestry of formidable challenges and striking contrasts. On one side, its time-honored architecture and vibrant cultural heritage evoke images of enduring tradition and unwavering strength. On the other side, the persistent issues of homelessness and addiction cast a deep and lasting shadow over its busy streets. In this segment, we offer a comprehensive exploration of the myriad factors that have contributed to the current crisis in the area. Our narrative goes far beyond a simple travel documentary, instead providing a thoughtful account of human vulnerability and the relentless quest for hope amid despair. We are left to ponder what it truly means to live without the security of a home and how addiction sometimes emerges as a desperate escape from overwhelming pain. Historical background. The history of Kensington is a multi-layered story that has evolved over many decades. In earlier times, the area was celebrated for its bustling markets and tightly knit communities where neighbors supported one another during difficult periods. However, over the years, sweeping economic shifts and urban development projects gradually eroded the availability of affordable housing and essential community services. This complex past has left deep and lasting scars on the very fabric of the neighborhood. The surge in homelessness did not occur overnight. It is the cumulative result of prolonged systemic neglect and the absence of robust social support mechanisms. It is essential to remember that behind every statistic and policy debate stands a human life upended by forces far beyond individual control. Socioeconomic factors. The intertwined challenges of homelessness and addiction in Kensington are deeply rooted in the broader socioeconomic realities faced by its residents. Rising living costs have significantly limited access to affordable housing, while cuts to vital social services have further hindered vulnerable populations from receiving the help they desperately need. Countless residents have been forced into impossible choices, having to decide between meeting rent obligations and securing essential health care, a dilemma that often propels them into even more precarious circumstances. Economic hardships intersect with personal struggles in a manner that can trap individuals in seemingly endless cycles of despair. This situation compels us to ask whether a society that neglects its most vulnerable members can ever truly be considered compassionate or just. Personal stories. Perhaps the most heart-wrenching aspect of our investigation is the deeply human side of this crisis. As we wander through the winding alleys of Kensington, we meet individuals whose experiences of trauma exceed what most of us can imagine. Their stories reveal narratives of families torn apart by addiction and shattered dreams that have been overshadowed by the unrelenting fight for survival. One resident recounted how the absence of a stable home not only undermined his financial security, but also eroded his sense of self-worth. Another individual described how the constant exposure to the hardships of street life has fostered an almost unbearable cycle of loneliness and despair. These personal accounts compel us to re-examine the effectiveness of current support systems and challenge us to consider what more might be done to offer genuine hope and assistance. Community impact. The effects of homelessness and addiction in Kensington extend far beyond those immediately afflicted. The entire community feels the repercussions of this crisis through overstrained public services and a noticeable decline in neighborhood spirit. Local businesses have suffered as these challenges spill over into public spaces and disrupt everyday life. Residents who remain in the area often live in a constant state of tension and uncertainty. This reality raises a critical question. How can a community truly thrive when a significant portion of its members is ensnared in such deep-rooted challenges? Policy and government. Over the years, numerous governmental initiatives have been introduced in an effort to alleviate the conditions that fuel homelessness and addiction in Kensington. These policies have ranged from housing subsidies and mental health programs to law enforcement strategies designed to curb public disturbances. Unfortunately, many of these well-intentioned efforts have fallen short due to insufficient funding and flawed implementation. Bureaucratic obstacles have frequently hampered progress, leaving the voices of those most affected largely unheard in policy discussions. This prompts us to ask what steps must be taken to ensure that government actions yield real, tangible improvements on the ground. Interviews and observation. During our extensive time in Kensington, we had the privilege of speaking with community leaders, social workers, and individuals who have experienced homelessness firsthand. These conversations unveiled a rich tapestry of emotions, from profound sorrow and regret to a defiant determination to reclaim lost dignity. One interviewee remarked that even amid severe hardship, the resilience of the human spirit shines through in the small yet powerful acts of everyday kindness. As we navigated the streets, our observations alternated between moments that were deeply heartbreaking and instances that were remarkably uplifting. In one particularly memorable encounter, we witnessed a small group gathering in a quiet corner where they exchanged memories and provided mutual support. This experience perfectly captured the essence of a travel documentary that emphasizes the vital importance of human connection, even in the most challenging circumstances. Travel documentary perspective. As our journey unfolds, it is crucial to emphasize that our approach transcends mere observation. It is grounded in genuine empathy and deep understanding. We have embraced a travel documentary style that not only depicts the stark realities of homelessness and addiction, but also highlights the underlying currents of hope and resilience that persist in Kensington. Every image we capture and every story we share serves as a poignant reminder that each individual possesses a unique narrative that deserves to be heard.
They lied to us. This video is recent.
Had no income, and I ended up down the airport for 2 months.
Challenges and hopes. Living on the streets of Kensington presents a multitude of challenges that extend far beyond the basic issues of shelter and food security. The daily struggle for survival is compounded by the stigma associated with addiction and the constant threat of violence and exploitation. Many individuals find themselves trapped in a vicious cycle that appears almost impossible to break free from. Yet even in the midst of overwhelming hardship, there remain small but powerful glimmers of hope. Local initiatives such as community kitchens and dedicated outreach programs have served as vital lifelines for many. These programs not only deliver essential services, but also restore a sense of dignity and belonging that is desperately needed. This brings us to an important query: can communities unite to build a future where no one is left behind? The road ahead. Looking toward the future, it is evident that the path to overcoming the intertwined crises of homelessness and addiction in Kensington is laden with significant obstacles, yet it is not without promising solutions. It is imperative that efforts to improve these conditions be coordinated on multiple levels. Local organizations must collaborate closely with governmental agencies to provide comprehensive services that address not only immediate needs for shelter and sustenance, but also long-term recovery and rehabilitation. Investments in mental health services, educational programs, and job training initiatives can empower individuals to rebuild their lives from the ground up. Though the road ahead remains long and challenging, every small success contributes to paving the way for a brighter future for the community. Now, more than ever, it is important for viewers to develop an understanding of the complexities behind homelessness and addiction in Kensington. We must challenge our preconceived notions and approach this subject with compassion and an open mind. It is only through empathy that we can begin to support policies and initiatives that truly address the root causes of these issues. We encourage everyone watching this video to reflect on how you might contribute to positive change, whether that means volunteering, supporting local initiatives, or simply spreading awareness through your own networks. What small action can you take today to help improve the lives of those in need? In conclusion, the crises of homelessness and addiction in Kensington are multifaceted challenges that demand our urgent attention and action on numerous fronts. This presentation has sought to illuminate the historical context, socioeconomic hurdles, and personal struggles that have all contributed to the current situation. By combining in-depth interviews with first-hand observations, we have strived to offer a balanced perspective that acknowledges both the severe hardships faced by individuals and the potential for recovery and growth. Our journey has been marked by moments of deep sorrow as well as inspiring hope, and we trust that it encourages you to recognize the humanity within every individual, no matter their circumstances. As we close this exploration, we remind you that every story shared in this video serves as a clarion call to action. While the stark images of Kensington may be difficult to witness, they also affirm that meaningful change is possible when communities come together in support of one another. end of the journey? Our expedition through the heart of Kensington has revealed a landscape that is as painful as it is poignant. The challenges of homelessness and addiction are deeply embedded in the history and socioeconomic realities of this neighborhood, but they are not insurmountable. Each conversation, each personal story, and every act of kindness witnessed on these streets reinforces the idea that even in the midst of despair, there is always the possibility of change. This travel documentary not only documents the harsh realities of urban life, but also serves as a testament to the enduring human spirit that refuses to be extinguished despite overwhelming odds. Reflection on society. The story of Kensington is not an isolated case. It reflects many of the struggles experienced in cities across our country and even around the world. As we reflect on our time here, we are inevitably led to question the type of society we wish to create. Are we prepared to invest the necessary resources to help our most vulnerable citizens, or will we continue to let economic pressures and bureaucratic forces determine the fate of those already in distress? Revisiting the past to understand the present. A careful examination of Kensington's historical development reveals a trajectory deeply intertwined with broader socioeconomic trends. Decades of industrial change, urban sprawl, and shifting political priorities have all contributed significantly to the present crisis. The loss of affordable housing, combined with the gradual erosion of community support systems, has created an environment in which homelessness and addiction have taken root and flourished. By studying these historical factors, we gain a clearer understanding of the challenges at hand and the steps needed to effectively address them. It is only through a comprehensive understanding of our past that we can hope to shape a future that is both equitable and just. Understanding the individual. At the very heart of Kensington's challenges lie individual lives that have been irrevocably altered by circumstances beyond their control. Every person we met carried a unique story of loss, hardship, and survival. One man recounted how a series of unfortunate events had led him down a destructive path of substance abuse, ultimately alienating him from his family and friends. A woman shared her relentless battle with addiction, a struggle that robbed her of the ability to care for both herself and her children. These poignant narratives underscore the critical importance of treating every person with dignity and empathy, regardless of the challenges they face. The value of these personal stories cannot be overstated in our ongoing efforts to understand and address broader societal problems. Bridging the gap between policy and humanity. There is a growing consensus among social advocates that closing the gap between abstract policy and lived human experience is essential for driving meaningful change. While policies can be drafted and funds allocated, it is ultimately the genuine human connection that propels progress forward. In Kensington, the disconnect between bureaucratic processes and the real-life experiences of those suffering from homelessness and addiction often results in solutions that fall short of their goals. By refocusing on personal stories and community-based initiatives, we can pave the way for policies that are both compassionate and effective. This naturally leads us to ask, what reforms would best meet the needs of those caught in this vicious cycle, and how can we ensure that government actions are driven by empathy rather than mere statistics? exploring the role of non-governmental organizations. Non-governmental organizations have long played a pivotal role in filling the gaps left by governmental efforts. In Kensington, numerous local groups work tirelessly to provide essential services such as shelter, food, counseling, and even job training for those in need. Even though these organizations often operate on limited budgets, their impact on individual lives is both significant and profound. They offer not only material support, but also instill hope and foster a sense of community that is frequently missing from the broader social safety net. The unwavering dedication of the volunteers and professionals in these organizations stands as a beacon of hope amid an otherwise challenging environment. Bring it all together. As we conclude our exploration of homelessness and addiction in Kensington, we are left with a deep mixture of sorrow and hope. The challenges are immense, yet the resilience of those fighting for survival in these harsh conditions is even more extraordinary. Our journey has shown that the roots of these issues lie in complex historical and socioeconomic factors that demand thoughtful, sustained action. Through our travel documentary approach, we have aimed to tell these stories with honesty and empathy, allowing viewers to gain a deeper understanding of the human condition and the urgent need for change. A final word on compassion. Ultimately, our experience in Kensington has taught us that compassion and understanding are the very foundations upon which a better society can be built. Every life affected by homelessness and addiction calls upon us to reassess our priorities and unite in pursuit of solutions that honor the dignity of every human being. We sincerely hope that this video has not only informed you, but also inspired you to consider how you might make a difference in your own community. Remember, every effort matters, and even the smallest act of kindness has the power to transform lives. A note of gratitude. We wish to extend our deepest gratitude to everyone who generously shared their time and personal stories for this video. The courage demonstrated by those who opened up about their experiences has enriched our understanding and reminded us that even in the face of adversity, the human spirit can shine brightly. Your willingness to share your struggles has paved the way for meaningful dialogue and collective action. We are profoundly thankful for the lessons learned during this journey and for the opportunity to present these critical issues to a broader audience. A message for the future. Looking ahead, it is unmistakably clear that sustained efforts are required to address the intertwined crises of homelessness and addiction in neighborhoods like Kensington. It is imperative that policymakers, community leaders, and everyday citizens join forces to develop solutions that are both compassionate and practical. As we continue to document these issues through our travel documentary lens, our commitment to illuminating the stories that matter and advocating for transformative change remains unwavering. Let us all remain vigilant and nurture compassion as we strive to create a world where every individual has the opportunity to live with dignity and hope. In essence, the story of Kensington serves as a powerful reminder of the fragility of human life and the immense strength of the human spirit. It challenges us to look beyond surface appearances and consider the deeper social issues that affect us all. Every narrative of hardship is at its core also a narrative of courage and the potential for renewal. We hope that our journey has resonated with you on a deeply personal level and has inspired you to engage in acts of kindness while advocating for policies that support the most vulnerable among us. What role will you play in building a more compassionate future? Thank you for joining us on this exploration of the complex realities of homelessness and addiction in Kensington. We invite you to continue the conversation by sharing your thoughts in the comments section and by spreading this message of hope and resilience throughout your own communities. May our collective commitment to understanding and change guide us toward a future where every person is truly valued and supported.